Welcome to a brand new section dedicated to Node.js, the essentials, to give you all the core competency to be able to work with Node.js. In this section, we're going to go ahead and understand what Node.js is. We're going to create a Hello World Node.js application. We're going to learn how to load packages and use models. We've seen how to load packages already with NPM, but we're going to see what the difference is between a package and a module is. We're going to go ahead and configure a basic server as well and use a third-party package or module, which is called HTTP server, to set up quickly a server. So let's jump right into it and let's start exploring the world of Node.js. Well, the first thing that we really want to do is we want to focus and pinpoint what Node.js is and really why are we working with Node.js. What makes it better than any other traditional server-side language? Now, when you think about it, PHP, MySQL, HTTPD, or more known as Apache, have been the traditional way of building websites. Now, the biggest problem, really the biggest problem with it, beyond the fact that it's so much easier to work with one language to do things for your database and your client side and all the different components of a website, including building up your server. But beyond that, beyond having only one language behind all these technologies, is that contrary to server-side languages in the past that depended on a server separately and depended on a language separately, so you had PHP, but then you had to have a server that would run your PHP. Contrary to that, Node.js is the solution of both the language and the server. Now, with this capability, it adds a lot of things that are really powerful by enabling you to have communications with your server that are direct. Now, what does that mean? These direct communications mean that you could have a call that then does something and returns back a value without your server hanging and waiting. Because what happens when PHP is, for example, you have two options. One option is to wait, where the server hangs everything and it waits until the action is completed. The other is to send it to even another technology, which is called a cron job, which will do the work disconnected from the server, but then you don't have a means of communication that are direct between your user that is supposedly waiting for some response. So with Node.js, really the brilliance of the combination of both the server and the language enables the server to basically not make the user wait as operations are happening on the server, letting the operations happen behind the scenes as we would want it to be, but then enabling the server then to, when a thing is ready, to send that information to the user when that information is ready. Now, that is done using callbacks, which we're going to look at briefly in this chapter and throughout really the remainder of this title, because that is the core way communications are made. So only when something is ready, it's then sent over to the user. All right, so that is really what makes Node.js so powerful. And that's really what I wanted you to get out of just the basics of what really is Node.js and why are we actually working with Node.js. Beyond that, there's a lot more examples on the web, which I've added documentation to this chapter that really lists out a lot of things that make Node.js better compared to PHP, which is one of the more common server-side languages.